Hello, I'm William Gallagher, and I do not know whose voice this is today, but it doesn't sound like mine. Not that you need to know this, but overnight, my voice began sounding like a French Muppet. And if it's back enough to talk to you now, it isn't back enough to talk for very long, which you might actually be glad. Anyway, quickly, this is 58 Keys, which is for writers like you and me who use and who write on Macs and iPhones and iPad. I strongly suspect that I broke my voice because I enthused too much, actually, about the first of two things that I want to talk to you about today. Excuse me, so sorry. In a moment, there's an app that very many people love. Do you know, that's such a politician's thing, isn't it? Very many people have said. Usually it means nobody but me. In this case, it's literally true. Very many people, I know some of them, they look perfectly normal. They have an app that they adore. That's coming up next. But first, well, if that's software, can you call this hardware? Whatever you call it. Here's me from last weekend, praising it so much, correctly, by the way, deservedly, I think, that I suspect it didn't in my voice. Right now, actually, I should be in a field running a writing workshop. It's one small part of a huge festival. I'm not a cog, I'm a pixel of a cog, but the festival was cancelled this morning. There is rain. Actually, it was much heavier a moment ago, but there's also what the UK Met Office calls a yellow weather warning around, and I don't 100% know what that means, but wind and rain were definitely part of it. I'm really sorry to not be doing the workshop. I had such a good idea for it. I kind of wait to see what happens, but I'm really sorry for the organisers. I mean, months of work gone. Hopefully they can restage it. I'm sure they'll do it again next year. And if they do it again, if they want me for it again, I'll be going there straight away. But I'll be going with all of the gear, well, all of the gear that I need for the workshop, of course, but then also what's now become my regular carry. I mean, the iPhone, of course, my Apple Watch. And actually, that should be it. That is all I need to do anything. If I'm where I'm going, write things, buy things when I need with the watch. But I do also now carry a third thing everywhere. And I was going to say it's this, at just one pixel first. Have a look at this. If you have a Mac, you recognize that as an untitled folder. Well, actually not just the untitled ones. You've got a million folders and you can change them, but generally speaking, we don't. They all look like this. But then they also look like this. This is the Untitled Folder Wallet by artist Nick Bentel. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it correctly. You don't need it. I don't need it. Actually, especially, I mean, I do carry a wallet, but if you tend to carry a purse or a handbag instead of a wallet, this is of no earthly use to you whatsoever, and yet you should buy it this instant. I mean, yeah, use it as a wallet, keep it as a piece of art, relish it as a clever idea that has been realized just superbly. I mean, look at that stitching for it. See along here? I thought that was wrong until I zoomed in on a Mac folder, and there it is. There is the same line. Well, I mean, strictly speaking, it's a blend line on the folder rather than like a straight stitch line. So, but it's in exactly that spot, the care and attention of details. It costs $50. I've had this for a few weeks now, and it's still delighting me. It's also, I mean, it's early days, I suppose, but it's still standing up to a fair amount of use, being wedged in pockets and things. It's made from what the artist calls vegan leather, also something I don't 100% know about. And you see on the Mac folder, you have that 3D effect. Well, here, that is mimicked by having two items, two sections kind of stitched together. I mean, they're obviously card-sized. I can't believe I just only had to put a card in a wallet, but there you go. I imagine with those two sections, you could get 3 or 4 debit cards in each one, so maybe up to it. I'm never going to know that. I'm never going to try damaging it enough. Never going to test it because it's a sheer delight. Go buy it now. $50, buy it right now. Buy it because it is so make you smile. Great. I sound like I'm being paid for this, but love this. Buy it now because it's a brilliant idea. It's make you smile. It never stops making you smile. And as well as being handmade, it's in a limited edition. And I do not know what the number of that limited edition is. Untitled Folder Wallet. You're a writer. You got the subtext there, did you? The tiny subtext that reveals I'm just a little bit keen on that wallet. Yeah, you saw through that. As it happens, I am less keen on the other thing for today, but I am in a minority, I think, of all the people who've tried it anyway. The Bear note-taking app. It's just had an update, and the people who use the old version, well, they already loved it to pieces, so they're very happy with this. So if I'm going to say buy the Untitled Wallet, the Untitled Folder Wallet, I want to say try Bear. It's, if you haven't already, it's like Apple Notes, like Evernote, Google Keep. It's like a lot of notes apps. But so, it is one of those where somehow writing in it is deeply appealing to many. I mean, I liked writing in it as I tried out the new version of just the last few days, really. And actually, I liked writing in the old version when I tried it out some 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Now, I am just separately, really, I'm really curious about how one writing app or notes app, things like that, can feel so different. I mean, you've seen this. They're all doing the same job. They're on literally the same devices, and most of them are not Evernote. Yeah, sorry, best not to ask. I went off on one about Evernote's, preposterous problems. Actually, in the 58 Keys Writers podcast this week, it's a podcast that's exclusive to Patreon members of 58 Keys. I'll put a link in the bottom thing. But I vented there. No need for you to hear it now. Okay, back to Bear. Bear is very good for writing short notes. Actually, also for long notes. You could, and I do know people who do write everything in Bear. Plenty of people have done that before, and plenty of people have adored doing so. It's just, as it happens, not me. Don't know why. There's no real reason. I mean, well, all right, there is a reason, but it's more about a system that Bear happens to use. Bear uses a system called Markdown, and I don't like Markdown. I really am in the minority now. It's a very clever system. It's beloved, actually. Excuse me. And the idea is, if you're writing something to go on a website, right, as I do practically every day, then having to remember the web's HTML codes to get certain effects, well, it's a pain. A quick example, to get bold on a website, the code is this. Open those particular brackets, ST, write the words for bold, then brackets, ST is for strong, by the way. With Markdown, much better. 2 asterisks and then either side of the... Just the thing is, in a word processor, though, you would do Command B, wouldn't you? B for bold. Very hard to remember. Many text editors now use Markdown. Like, I'm not kidding, it is so popular and so loved. When I am writing for the web, I use an app called Drafts 5, and it is a Markdown editor. It turns Command B into 2 asterisks, but it doesn't fight me over square brackets. I use square brackets to mark out certain points of a quote. Markdown says, actually, that should be a link. Okay. What the new Bear does, it lets you enter the 2 asterisks or whatever, but then when you've written them, when you've tapped the spacebar, you've clicked away, the codes vanish and you just see that bold is there until you click again in that section, and now the codes are back, so you can see them, edit them, delete them, whatever you need. It's not of any value to me, but if you liked Bear as much as some people do and you end up writing everything in it, well, then everything includes writing on the web. If you don't also know HTML already, I can definitely see that it could be better. It could be better for you than for me. Something I would like that's definitely like a factual feature and can't be fixed is I would like to move all of my Apple Notes into Bear. I think if I'd been able to do that, I would have stayed in Bear for more than a few days. I might even have become a fan, but this has nothing to do with Bear. It's Apple Notes. Apple Notes does not play nice. And actually, I did find a way to get all of my notes out of Apple Notes into Bear, and it was rubbish. They were practically unreadable. The new Bear is free to download and try. If you were to only use it on one single device ever, then you could keep using the free version. But the point of all Notes apps is to have all of your notes with you, all the places you go, everywhere. Even back in my Evernote days, before the great coming of a better solution, I was out doing something, different city. I ran into someone that by chance I was supposed to be doing some work with later. I had a project we were doing together, and I was able to just get out the contracts with, it was a him or her, can't remember now, just as if I'd known we were going to meet. Anyway, right there, instant access to all of your notes all of the time. It is great, and actually I think it's a requirement really of a Notes app. To do this with Bear, you need a Bear Pro subscription, which is either $3.49 per month or $29.99 per year. Absolutely, definitely, most definitely worth it if bear is right for you. Beyond the markdown stuff that's no use to me and sometimes gets in the way, I'm kind of struggling to grasp why bear hasn't arrested me the way it has, while so many others. I tell you what, YouTube videos always do this at the end. Tell me what you think in the comments, and really what they're saying is please comment, please react. Could you tell me what you think in the comments? What is it about bear that you like? If you like it, what am I missing out on? I like apple notes, but I could be tempted away by something. In the meantime, that's it for this edition of 58 Keys. Slightly less croaky than I was fearing. Thank you for putting up with that and for watching. Now take care of yourself, better than I have. Write more, and I'll see you soon.